Hi, I'm Hope from Sisterhood Purses, and I have been asked several times about why did I start this company? What is it about purses? Because if you know me, this is not my background. I've not been in retail before, or fashion, or merchandising. This was a whole new venture for me. And there's really two different stories behind me starting this company. So I want to start with the first story, which is my own personal story. And about 4 years ago, I decided to go public and write a blog about how I was raised in a very violent, emotionally abusive home with my mother, who suffered from mental illness and had multiple suicide attempts. She married many times, maybe around 11 times. And it was just a very traumatic childhood. And at age 11, I was sexually abused by one of my stepfathers. And when I decided to come out with this story, I just felt like it was something that maybe other people could relate to. Maybe it would help someone that read it, maybe that was struggling with their own shame or guilt or fallout from it. And when I went public with my story, the response was just overwhelmingly positive, because it was a really scary thing to do. I had to tell my family about the sexual abuse before I could share it with other people. So it was a really big decision, and I wasn't sure what the reaction was going to be, but fortunately, all of my friends and family have been very, very supportive. Unfortunately, that's not what happens a lot of times when women come forward and talk about sexual assault, sexual abuse, domestic violence, and the things that happen to them. Unfortunately, a lot of times people don't believe them. With my story, no one knew the stepfather that did this to me. I wasn't accusing a public figure or somebody prominent in my church, or even a family member that was still around. And a lot of times when women do report these things that have happened, there's victim blaming and further shaming and questioning the victim. So I wanted a way to help make my voice bigger, to let other women out there know that they are loved and supported, and there are women out there that want to encourage them and that believe them. So that was one piece of this story. The other part of it is the purses itself. And how that all came about was with a girlfriend here in my hometown that had heard about a project called Sisterhood Purses in a town up in New York, where the organizers, the volunteers, were collecting new and gently used purses, filling them with gifts like scarves and hats and gloves and toiletries, and taking them to shelters at Christmas for Christmas presents, because they felt like the women in shelters, like a lot of times a lot's done for the children in shelters, but the moms aren't always included, and we wanted to do something special for the moms in shelters. And so when my friend approached me with it, I was all on board, and we got some volunteers together and we implemented that locally. And it has been a tremendous success. Like over the past 4 Christmases, we have served between 300 and 400 women. And last year, my daughter and I went on our local TV station to promote it, and the response was just humbling and completely overwhelming. We were getting donations. Literally, we were picking up truckloads of really nice purses and gifts to go in them and toiletries, and it was just overwhelming, the response. And so I got to thinking about how can I take both of these stories and do more with it? How can I make my voice bigger? How can I capitalize on the success of the purses? Because the women that received them were so grateful and loved them. And we were told by the shelters that for a lot of these women, That is all they would get for Christmas. And so with a lot of meditation and prayer and a little bit of inspiration from Tom's shoes, Sisterhood Purses was born, or I should say expanded to include the retail sales, the part that I have started as a business side of this, both to sustain it, to have a way to give purses throughout the year, and also to further the message to women that are survivors of sexual assault, domestic violence. A lot of them have even experienced, sexual abuse at a younger age. And just a way to put something in their hands that says, we hear you, we believe you, we support and encourage you, we want you to succeed. We just giving that message of hope directly to a survivor from women that they don't even know, that are buying these purses just so that message can go to them. And so that is really why I started this company. My long-term mission is even bigger. Of course, I want to continue to put the message into the hands of survivors, but as this company grows, I want to advocate for survivors. I want to advocate for legislative change and how survivors are treated. There are some really good models out there that could be expanded upon. For the perpetrators that are convicted of these crimes, that they actually go to jail, that they spend time in jail, that they don't get to just walk away because they're otherwise good guys or for whatever reason that the judge has. These perpetrators need to spend time in jail. And so I just think there is so much that can be done to not only make life better for the survivors, but to be done at a whole, systemic legal level. So I know it's a really big mission, but it all starts with you watching this video. If you buy a purse, just know that it is going to a really big cause, even though the purse is just one item, that is one vehicle to give a message to one survivor. So join me in this. If this speaks to you, I know from experience and from talking with women that for a lot of people it really does, and I'm very, very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ones that share their stories with me. It's very encouraging and inspiring and keeps me going. So thank you for listening. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions or feedback. I love to hear from you all. I hope you're having a great day.